The rain was heavy that night, not gentle, not romantic, but cold and painful, the kind of rain that enters your bones and reminds you how small you are in this world. Daniel drove his blue truck slowly on the empty highway, his eyes tired, his hands rough from years of driving, his heart quiet. He had no music playing, only the sound of rain and the engine. He was thinking about nothing and everything at the same time. He had been a truck driver for almost 20 years, he had seen accidents, kindness, cruelty, loneliness, and hope, but that night felt different. The road looked endless, the sky looked angry, and his heart felt strangely heavy. Then his headlights caught something moving on the side of the road. Not animals, not shadows, people, a man, a woman, and a small girl, walking slowly in the rain, their clothes soaked, their steps weak, the child holding a broken doll close to her chest as if it was her only protection in this world. Daniel slowed down. His mind told him to keep driving. His heart told him to stop. He remembered how many times he himself had wished someone would stop for him in life. He pressed the brakes. The truck stopped with a soft sound. Daniel opened the door and stepped into the rain. Water ran down his face, but he did not care. He walked toward the family slowly so he would not scare them. The father stepped in front of his wife and daughter, protective but tired. Daniel spoke gently, his voice calm. "Are you okay?" The man hesitated, then his voice broke. "Our car broke down miles ago. My phone is dead. We have been walking for hours. My daughter is cold." Daniel looked at the little girl. Her lips were shaking, her eyes were big and tired, her small hands held the broken doll like a treasure. Daniel felt something move inside him. "Please come with me," he said, "I will take you to the nearest town." The mother looked at Daniel, fear and hope fighting inside her eyes. "We do not have money," she whispered. Daniel shook his head gently. "You do not need money to be safe." They slowly walked toward the truck. The little girl looked at it like it was a giant warm house on wheels. Inside the cabin, the warm air wrapped around them, the girl smiled for the first time that night. Her name was Lily. She told Daniel in a soft voice that she loved stars and stories and that her doll was broken but she still loved it because it stayed with her when people left. Daniel listened quietly, his heart slowly opening. The father explained that he had lost his job. They were moving to another city to live with relatives, they had sold almost everything to survive, and then their car failed them. Life had failed them. Daniel drove in silence for a while, then he spoke. "Sometimes life breaks us to teach us who we really are." They reached a small town after some time, lights glowing like tiny hopes in the darkness. Daniel did not stop at a gas station. He stopped at a small motel. He paid for a room for the family. The father tried to stop him, his hands shaking. "Please sir, you have done enough." Daniel looked into his eyes and said softly, "I have been where you are, please let me help." The mother cried silently. Lily hugged Daniel without thinking, her small arms around his waist, her voice soft. "Thank you uncle." Daniel felt tears in his own eyes for the first time in years. He bought them food, warm clothes for Lily, and a small new toy, not expensive but full of meaning. That night Daniel left quietly. He did not ask for thanks. He did not leave his number. He did not expect anything. He only drove away with a lighter heart. He thought he would never see them again. Years passed. Daniel continued his life, driving from city to city, carrying goods for people who would never know his name. He grew older. His hair turned more gray. His body more tired, but his heart remained kind. Then one afternoon, under a bright sun, his truck broke down on a lonely road. No rain, no drama, just silence. Daniel tried calling for help, but his phone battery died. He sat beside his truck, feeling small again, feeling invisible again. He smiled sadly and whispered to himself, "So this is how it feels from the other side." A black luxury car slowed down nearby. It stopped. A man stepped out, well-dressed, confident, strong. He looked at Daniel for a few seconds. Then his eyes changed. Tears filled them. He ran toward Daniel. It was the same father. The same man Daniel had helped years ago. He held Daniel's hands tightly. "You saved my family," he said. "Your kindness rebuilt my life. I found work, I started a business, I became strong because someone once believed in me." Daniel could not speak. The man called his driver, arranged help for Daniel's truck, and insisted Daniel come with him for dinner. Then a young girl came out of the car. It was Lily, older now, brighter, stronger. She hugged Daniel and said, "You are my hero, I never forgot you." Daniel felt something he had not felt in many years. He felt seen, he felt valued, he felt remembered. That day they did not talk about money. They talked about life. They talked about fear. They talked about hope. They talked about how one small decision can change many futures. Daniel realized something. Kindness is not loud. Kindness does not need applause. Kindness only needs courage. From that day, Daniel started stopping more often. For strangers. For broken cars. For tired faces. Because he understood now. Sometimes you are not stopping for others. Sometimes you are stopping for the future version of yourself. And somewhere in this world, your kindness is waiting to return to you. In another form. In another moment. In another miracle.